Hey guys, finally we are live for Astro live chat for this week, February 12th. I'm a little bit late. I'm sorry. Thank you for those who are joining. Hello. I'm giving everyone a few minutes to join in. I'm so happy to be here today to do another live chat for you guys. Make sure that you have your calendars, your notepads, your pen, your paper. You already know I have my agenda book here, and then I also have my notes just in case I need to write something down. Slim Thick says hi. Mouse on the Moon says hi, tribe. Sister Shakti says hi. Hello, everyone. Alondra says, I love you so much. I love you so much, girl. I love you so much. You Minerva says, hi, babe. I am GD says, hello. Lizzie joined. Occultist joined. Thank you so much for joining, you guys. I know it's Monday, and sometimes Mondays are difficult for everyone to get together. I'm pretty sure there's some good TV shows on Monday, but I'm not much of a TV watcher, so I wouldn't know. But I do know that you probably do have some choices, and the fact that you choose to spend Mondays with me doing this Astro live chat really means a lot to me, so thank you so much for joining. Wildcrafted Laura says, I watched the new Astro forecast video already. Thank you for that. I do have some questions that I'll throw out when you get to that point in the discussion. Yes, please do. Please do. Lizzie said, I was almost done with your new video. Thank you so much for watching. The new video for this week is up on BehatiLife YouTube. We have some really incredible developments that are happening this week that we need to talk about. Outside of the fact that it's Valentine's Day, I was looking at the chart and I was getting this strong vibe of soulmates, twin flames, people karmically being forced together by the universe. And I really wanted everyone to catch that, because I feel like we spend a lot of time setting intention and working to bring things into our lives, which I get it. I encourage you guys to do that totally, but also the planets sometimes need to kind of align to kind of open doors up. Sometimes the odds are a little stacked against us, and in this case they are stacked for you in your favor. If you are looking for love, if you're looking for a soulmate, if you're concerned with twin flames and that type of stuff, it is so good, and we'll talk about it. Let me look at these comments first before I get started. Gil Herm, I'm sorry, I butcher you guys' Instagram names, I know. People butcher my name too, so I don't feel bad. But hello from Brazil, thank you so much for joining in. Tarot Life 223 says, so glad to catch us live, yay! So I'm really glad that you were able to catch us live. If you are not able to catch us live and you're watching this on the 24-hour repeat, just know that, again, the video for this week's forecast is up on the YouTube channel. And a lot of what it is that we're going to talk about is there, but this gives us a chance to talk and discuss the Astro transits further, and for you guys to ask any questions, and also for me to connect with you guys and share my love, because that's what I love to do. I like that intimate relationship. Lizzie Lee says, oh, and yes, you need to do a relationship video. Oh, that's right. So Lizzie, you definitely watched the video. Ooh! You definitely watched the video that's up on the YouTube channel, because I did mention that there, relationships and attraction is my specialty. I swear to you, I can like bring soulmates together just despite all the obstacles. So I would love to do a video for you guys on that. Love your YouTube channel and your vibes. Thank you so much. Occultist says, I'm going through a bad breakup. Your videos are helping me so much. You know what? If you're going through a bad breakup right now, let me tell you that one of the best things that have ever happened to me are the breakups that I went through. Even though they sucked, even though they were difficult, even though they broke me down, I'm very sensitive and I want to, share my life and find that person. But I also come with an old soul and a lot of karmic baggage, if I'm going to call it that, and also my own wounds from growing up that I knew I needed to heal, and I started that journey really early. And I have to say that if you are looking for your soulmate and if you're going through a breakup right now, that you don't realize it. Most people don't realize it, but looking back, they always say it was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. So congratulations on your breakup. I know that sounds really weird, but imagine what is going to be in store for you in the future, and to hold strong and don't give up and know what it is that you want from love. Okay. Do you consider soulmates to be only your intimate relationships, or can they be friendships as well? Absolutely. I swear my sister is my soulmate friendship, even though she is not my like sister from the same mother. She's from another mother. And I just swear her and I are like soulmate connections. So these, when we say soulmates, I'm using it in general terms here for everyone to understand, but for the most part, soulmate does not confine to one intimate partner. Is this going on YouTube? Yes, it is. Get High, Breathe, Pranas says, I love you and your knowledge. Thank you so much. I am GD says, I'm a Cap and my girl is a Pisces. I'm going through a bad breakup right now. I do love her. I bet you do. I bet you do. The hardest breakups are the ones where you really, really love someone, obviously. But, like, for real, they never get easier. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. Donut Bay says, I'm forever alone, Sagittarius, but my Pisces moon makes me sad about it. Oh, I know. We could talk about it. We could talk about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm hoping that you guys are ready. I have, you know how I like to do this. I like to start by looking at the week prior, because there's always planets shifting around, and the energy, as the planets are shifting, the energy is shifting, and that's something that we need to be aware of, that you need to be mindful of. I'm going to start off by talking about Saturday. And this is because on Saturday, Venus, the planet of love and relationships, Glam Bosnia says, hey Jess, hey, what's up, girl? I'm so happy to see you again. I love you guys. I love you guys. No, for real. Okay. So, yeah, Venus rules relationships, beauty, aesthetic, money, values, and was in the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius, when Venus is in the sign of Aquarius, it really does kind of mess up relationships. I have to be honest. It kind of throws a wrench in it. That's because Uranus, the planet of throwing wrenches into things, is what I'm going to call it, rules the energy of Aquarius and will really mess up the romance, the connection. And also, Aquarius needs a lot of space, and it doesn't want to deal with emotional baggage. It doesn't want to deal too much with emotional issues and trying to connect and understand another person. It's a lot of times, I have to say, like my way or the highway. And when Venus was moving through the sign of Aquarius, for a lot of signs, if you're a Pisces, if you're an earth sign, if you're a water sign, this could be really difficult for you when it comes to your partnerships. And especially if you're in a relationship with someone who is an air sign or a fire sign, because they're like, poof, they can really go off and do their own thing because they're under the influence of this Venus energy. Milk and Honey says, I tuned in late. Are you all right, hun? I just heard about a bunch of lonely stuff. I hope you're doing okay in your relationship. Oh, yeah. No, I'm good. I'm actually really good with my partner right now. He's currently at the gym. I'm currently in the apothecary, and we're just talking about relationships because there's a large focus on relationships this week. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you so much for asking me if I'm okay. That really means a lot. Okay. I am GD said, the sun got nothing on your smile. Thank you so much. Slim Thick said, I almost had a breakdown Friday, Saturday. Yeah, I believe it. Okay, so, yeah, when the sun is also in the sign of Aquarius, the moon currently, actually, no, the moon is in Capricorn. That's why we've been so focused and diligent and, like, this train kind of trucking today. I don't know if you guys been feeling that, but that was the moon. Moving through the sign of Capricorn. Mercury's in the sign of Capricorn. All of these Mercury's in the sign of Aquarius. All of these planets are moving through the sign of Aquarius at the time. But at this moment in time, forgive me, sorry. But on Saturday, Venus was the first one to kind of deviate from the norm, strike out, and move into the sign of Pisces. Now, the planets, the signs, they all play favorites, always and forever. That's something that we don't like to talk about or that we don't like to do in our own lives. Let's say you have a child, 2 children, and one's your favorite. It's like one of those things that we don't mention. I like this one better. This is my favorite child. The planets, they don't care. They don't care about at all. And the planets do play favorites. Venus in the sign of Pisces. Venus loves Pisces. Pisces exalts Venus. So even though Venus has a lot of it can be shallow, it can be lower level love is what it is that I'm going to say. When Venus ruling relationships moves into moves into the sign of Pisces, it really exalts relationship energy. It exalts how we express ourselves in love, and it also nudges us to think about love, attraction, values in a totally different way. What I love about Venus moving into the sign of Pisces is the fact that it is so freaking compassionate and understanding and patient. It wants to give love just to give love, because to hold on to it for too long is just, it's toxic. It feels poisonous. So that happened on Saturday, and we're going to be feeling that influence moving forward into the week ahead. Eyes that shine. Hey, Mari girl says, hey girl, hey. I'm so happy to see you again too. Beth and Travis plus 3 said, my favorite kid is whichever one is easiest at the moment. I hear that. That's so funny. That's so funny. But yeah, so the other thing that Venus again rules is aesthetic and beauty. And when Venus is in the sign of Pisces, this starts to become super ethereal. So I don't know if you're following me on Twitter. Random thought. But I don't know if you're following me on Twitter, but earlier today I had this like really expensive like container of limited edition glitter from MAC that I got years ago. And I don't know what I was doing. I don't know if I was using it or if I just keep it in the apothecary sometimes. I'm not really sure. I think at one point I was putting glitter in my bath soaks a long time ago, so maybe it was in there. I spilled it all over the floor, and it makes this like my whole apothecary floor is sparkling like diamonds, and I tweeted about it earlier today. The reason why I'm mentioning that is because Venus in Pisces is my floor with glitter sprinkled all over it. Like literally that's what Venus in Pisces creates, is this sparkling energy. It has this ability to turn something that is so simple and so basic, like my floor, into this like otherworld place, otherworld experience. And that's what I got going on in the apothecary currently right now at this moment. So I know that Pisces gets a really bad reputation as far as being idealistic and too blissful in the way that it looks at things. But in reality, every single sign, like I said in the video, every single sign has a reason for being here and has a gift that it gives to all of us. And Pisces reminds us of the importance of allowing yourself to lose yourself in the image of beauty and aesthetic and true love and soulmates. And the more that you allow yourself to open up to that glistening glamour and vision, the more that you sparkle your life and spice up your life with magic and fairy dust. And there's nothing wrong with that. There needs to be balance with everything. We can't be Saturn in Capricorn all the time. Sometimes we have to be Venus in Pisces. There has to be balance. There has to be total, complete, 100% balance. Just the same thing with Pluto in Scorpio. Everything needs to come in balance and moderation. So yeah, one thing at a time. I always, stumble ahead of myself because I get so excited about talking about these things. I'll talk again about why soulmates are so important and why it is that I'm seeing this hard focus on soulmate energy, and why I truly feel that people are going to, some of my followers, that's why I'm like, set freaking intentions. Don't miss this. Don't miss this. Set intentions, because I know a good percentage of my followers, if they're looking for love, you will find it. Some really incredible, deep soulmate, karmic connected, beautiful love this week. So it's just the universe is really set up for it. So I know someone's gonna to meet the love of their lives, and I want it to be every single one of you guys, because even if you want to be single, there's nothing wrong with that. I respect that, but I feel like to everyone's core, for a lot of people to their core, they still want to have that companionship. And I feel like a lot of people kind of limit themselves into thinking like, this is what a love life should look like, this is what a relationship should look like. Not true. A relationship, the perfect one, is what you make it to be. That's the other thing that I wanted to talk about today, so might as well go ahead and talk about it now, is again, Aquarius, this Aquarius energy, even though it's detached, it's emotionally removed, it goes its own way, it does its own thing. So with that, we sometimes paint this picture of like, oh yes, I'm a freedom lover and I love to be out and about, I love exploring and I love traveling, but I also want to be married and in a partnership. and I want to have romance, and I want to have, you know, a family and a house. So, but I can't have both. So then I have to choose one or the other. That's something that I had, a conversation that I had with a client that was with me for a long time. And I'm just like, look, you don't have to choose one or the other. You can have both. What you have just done was you created this image of what it is that you thought that, no, you created this image of what it is that you feel like it should look like, but you're not in alignment with yourself, and you're not being honest with yourself, because in reality your human mind can only visualize what and how you perceive it to be, but the universe, God, the divine, your spirit, your intuition knows that love does not have to fit into this tiny box. Love does not have to look like this. Love can be that, you know, you and I travel in a bus through the mountains of California, and we have a child, and we live our best lives out there. That's what love can look like for you. Do not box yourself. Sun, Mercury, at one point Venus sitting in the sign of Aquarius. All of these planets are this solar eclipse that is in the sign of Aquarius says, stop boxing yourself. I just censored myself. Stop boxing yourself and creating this like traditional, like tight, like cover, like you're this book and your cover looks like this, and you're going to paint this picture of what it is that you're going to look like and what it is that it's going to be on the inside, and then just live your life based upon this cover. You make your life the way you want it to be. It needs to be eccentric. It needs to be different. It's going to be odd. It's going to be messy, but it's yours. It's yours, and it's magical, and it's loving, and it's dope, and that's what you need to create. Okay. Milk and Honey says, wow, I just met this wonderful girl. First girl I've talked to since I opened up to being bi. Speak about not putting yourself in a box. Yeah, seriously. You'd be surprised. For those of you guys that just tuned in, thank you so much for joining. I just take a moment to read through my comments, and then I go back into looking at the planets and where, you know, the talking about them. So just be a little tiny patient with me. My husband is Aries and his moon is Taurus, and what a mix. And I'm a Sag with moon in Libra, and girl, the energy going around this month gonna have us with a November baby again. Yes, get it. Do it, literally do it. Okay, what about Capricorn? Capricorn for you too. This is all of us. The Online Life says, I think I'm texting to my soulmate right now as I watch this video. Fingers crossed. Set the intention. Set the intention. Remember, release. I need to make a video about love and relationships. I need to. Anytime when you're working with love, always release. Always let go of expectation. It makes things move faster so quickly. Whether you're talking to a man or whether you're talking to a woman, it doesn't matter. Release, 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 release. Don't put restrictions on yourself. Just move from the heart. Don't have fear. That's the fastest way that you can bring love in. My Venus is in Aquarius. God bless you, Chloe World. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just kidding. Colored URL. Jess, you're talking about soulmates, and I haven't gotten my ex purge out of my mind. Anyway, I love you tons, Jess. You're glowing. Thank you so much, Anna. I love you. That's okay. So the other thing too about this, about Venus moving to the sign of Pisces last week, is this energy of if you are caught up on something, if you do need to do some healing. So it's not just relationships. It's not just, you know, maxing your current relationship with your current partner or deepening the relationship with your current partner. For a lot of people, if you're not in a relationship, you can also use this energy to self-heal and to be compassionate with yourself. That's something else that I saw in one of my comments recently, today actually, of someone being like, you know what, I love so-and-so, I love my partner so much, but I wish I had that love for myself. That is the realest thing I've ever heard, and I'm so grateful that she put that comment there, because people need to see that, people need to hear it, people need to experience that, because a lot of us were like, you know, we kind of paint this picture of, you know, love is going to complete me or complete us, and this is what it is that we're doing, and this is what it is that my life looks like. But in reality, what love does and what relationships do is that they strip away at our onion layers, and they reveal this cold, shivering, sometimes vulnerable person that just lies within every single one of us. And it's difficult to ask for love. It's difficult to have love come in, and it's difficult to see the reflection of yourself in your lover's eyes and realize that you know what, another person doesn't complete you, and I need to learn how to love myself. That is the realest thing. Whoever it was that commented that, I love you. My heart goes out to you. Thank you for being honest, because that's not easy. But Venus moving through the sign of Pisces during this time will help to allow you to work on those areas, because not only does Venus in Pisces focus on external love, but it focuses a lot on internal love. And again, it's compassionate, it's honest, it's vulnerable. It allows you to be who and what it is that you are: ugly, gorgeous, stunning, dull, vibrant, heavy, all of those pieces that all of us are. It allows you to be those things, and it accepts them, and it loves them, and it says, you know what? I'm here with you no matter what. I'm your ride or die. And that's how, when you look in the mirror, that's the conversation that you should have with yourself. That's what that conversation should look like no matter what. Okay? So when you're focusing on self-healing during this time, if that's something that it is that you want to do in conjunction with bringing love in, you don't have to choose one or the other. You can do both. Then this would be the perfect week to think about that and to focus on that. Because the next 28 to 30 days could be life-changing when it comes to self-love, healing, being compassionate, and inviting love in to your life. I got Ace of Cups for this month, and the Tower for next month. Wonder if that has something to do with it, but I was hoping for more emotional positivity this month. You'd be surprised, and I've seen that before. Ace of Cups and the Tower showed up a few times for me before I met people that I dated, or people that would have an impact on my life, including like friends and that type of stuff. So Wildcrafted Laura, just keep your eyes open for that. Oh. Someone says, how do you let go though? For real, for real. How do you let go of a love relationship? You know what? You really have to. My personal thing is, what I've always done for people that I've had to break up with is, if I have the chance and the opportunity, and 9 times out of 10 I do have the chance and the opportunity in my past relationships to sit with them. That's always how I created my relationship, is to be honest and open with them, and to be able to have communication flowing free between the two of us, and ask them, you know, what was this relationship like for you? This is what this relationship was like for me. What would you have done differently? How do you feel? This is how I feel. This is what I would have done differently. I still love you. Much love, much respect, but we've got to split ways. And that, I've even had that conversation with people that have disrespected me at some point within their relationship. And then it was like, you made that decision yourself, and I needed to leave the relationship. I learned my lesson, and I continue to go. The biggest thing that I have to say when it comes to letting go of relationships and healing from them is, ultimately your faith in yourself and your faith in the universe, your faith in your path needs to be stronger than your fear. And I feel like so many people have a difficult time with letting go because they're so scared that they're never going to be able to experience love like that again. But most people, the majority of people, can say that a breakup happened for a perfect reason, perfect divine reason. It may not have made sense in that moment. It may have sucked so hard, so bad. But at the end of the day, where they stand now and who they are now and who they're with now and what their life looks like now, they wouldn't take it back for a second. And then there's something else that I wanted to say when it comes to breaking up and healing from a past love relationship, but I can't remember. Also, okay, this is what I wanted to say. When it comes to having someone breaking up with you, or you breaking up with them, with that, people are not perfect. You're not perfect, and you can't expect perfection from them. So that means that when you're in a love relationship, that you are opening yourself up to be disappointed. Every single person that you're in a relationship will at some point disappoint you. That's the reality. Bob Marley said it first, I'm sure, and it's so true. But that means forgive, forget, move forward. That's the whole point of being in it, especially when it comes to your soulmate and when it comes to deeper love relationships and deeper connections. You have to be in a space to allow yourself to freely forgive and move forward. If you're not, then you're way too attached and you've got some healing to do. All right. Okay, Capricorn. I always find it hard finding true love. That's because you're a Capricorn, and it's never, love for Capricorns typically don't really happen until after 30. That's because you guys are ruled by Saturn. Saturn moves very, very slow, and also Saturn has goals that needs to achieve and to accomplish. This is I am GD asking this question, so that's why you're probably seeing a lot of struggles with as being a Capricorn, because it's hard for you to commit and invest in someone, and that's the biggest thing about Capricorn, is it wants to invest. Also, Cancer rising signs, you definitely have a difficult time with finding love a lot of the times, 9 times out of 10, because Capricorn rules your 7th house of partnerships. Hope that makes sense. Okay, you guys, I need to probably like continue forward. I'm reading through these comments right now. My screen is acting really messed up. Okay, there's their way. Discovering true love for myself is the way to block. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to move forward. I'm going to read your comments afterwards. I always do that. That's my favorite part, is afterwards when the live chat is over, I grab a cup of tea and then I go back and I read your comments and then I respond back as much as I can, or answer emails or create a video based upon the questions that you asked. So if I don't answer your comment right now, don't feel bad. I do see them. That's the crazy thing. I do see them. And if someone says, Jess, Lizzie Lee 121 says, focus, Jess. No! I'm just kidding. I don't know if you realize this about me, but I am hardcore Mercury. A lot of Mercury in my chart. I'm also a lot of Moon in my chart. And my emotions and my mind is always going. That's what makes me so magical. So as far as focusing goes, I do focus when I'm working on readings, but aside from that, I do what I can. But I'm not making any promises. Oh, get used to it. Okay. I'm just kidding, Lizzie Lee. I had to get that out too. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh, so when it comes to looking at your comments and responding back to them, let's say someone says something like Namaste Poppin says love your magic. When I see that comment, when I'm replaying it, I literally say out loud to you, thank you so much, Namaste Poppin. Like, I will respond back to you guys, because I believe that energy is it's felt. I feel like you guys feel my messages. I feel like you guys feel my love, and that even though you don't hear me saying it in that moment, that you do at some point. And also, it's like a blessing. I believe like the things that it is that you say, that you speak, are a blessing that you share with others. Okay? So that being said, let's move forward. We do have a lot to discuss. Again, I'm sorry, with the solar eclipse that is happening on the 15th. One thing that we want to be aware of is on the 13th, which is tomorrow, Mercury is in erratic, cray-cray Aquarius. No offense to my Aquarius people. My mom's an Aquarius. She's one of my favorite people walking the face of this earth. So it is all love all the time when I'm mentioning any of these signs. But Mercury in the sign of Aquarius does get a little like if I had to, I have an image. So do you know Austin Powers, when the glam bots come out and they're like, these boots are made for walking, and then they start, like, water gets on them or whatever. I don't know what happened, but they start going, and they just start malfunctioning. That's what I feel Mercury in Aquarius is. It is a glam bot beginning to malfunction in some ways, in the worst way, in the worst best way. So that's kind of what the energy that it is that we've got going on here. But on Tuesday, tomorrow, Mercury squares off with Jupiter. And Jupiter is a planet, you guys are laughing. Jupiter is a planet of abundance and expansion. And when Mercury squares off with Jupiter, this is a tendency to kind of over-exaggerate, to overextend ourselves, to over-promise, to think in our minds and be so convinced in our minds that we can get something done in the right amount of time, or with whatever it is that we're promising, and then when push comes to shove, we're like, shit, I ran out of time, I overdid it, I overextended myself. So that's something that you want to be mindful of on the 13th, that you want to be aware of. Don't overdo anything, don't overpromise, especially if you guys are trying to, let's say, because Valentine's Day is the day after, and you're like, oh, I'm going to take you on a magical carpet ride, and you're like Aladdin, but you're like not the prince that you say that you are. That's kind of like Mercury square Jupiter saying, like, actually no, that's a little bit more Venus square Neptune mixed with a few other things. But basically what is it I'm trying to say is that people have a tendency to overpromise, over overdo it when it comes to communication. They have a tendency to kind of be a little erratic, a little out there. And it can be a little much, and they push themselves onto other people. They push themselves. They make themselves out to be like this guru, and then you realize like you ain't shit. Like you ain't nobody. You have no idea what you're talking about. That's Mercury square Jupiter. The next day, the 14th, mark your calendar. On the 14th, that is actually Valentine's Day, Sun in the sign of Aquarius is going to be sextile Uranus, the planet of Eyes That Shine. Says, I do this all the time. Stop doing that, girl. Stop overpromising. I do it too, I'm not going to lie. It's because I'm very motivated. I'm highly motivated, and I like to be of service to others. So I'm just like, yeah, I can do that. And then I'm like, shit, no, I can't. So maybe it might take me a little longer to do it than I normally would like to do, but I have people helping me with that. So, okay, the 14th, that is Valentine's Day and Ash Wednesday, for those of you guys that are interested in knowing those tiny details or those details. Sun is in the sign of Aquarius. Mouse on the Moon says, Sun in the sign of what? Sun is in the sign of Aquarius. Sun is in the sign of what? Sun is in the sign of Aquarius, girl. Sun is in the sign of what? I'm just kidding. So, yeah, Sun is in the sign of Aquarius, and it's going to be sextile Uranus. Uranus is the planet of surprise, unexpected developments, innovation, doing things differently. And when Sun is meeting with Uranus in this way, and this energy of Uranus is going to be so strong, so high, so powerful. Aquarius energy is going to be so strong, so high, so powerful, because the day following that is the solar eclipse. But what I see is the element of surprise. Write this down. Pull out your pens. Beth Travis says, what? Yeah, mark this down, because this is the element of surprise intensified. This is a great time to think outside of the box, to be spontaneous, to surprise yourself, to surprise someone else, to try something different. One of my examples that I used for giving people like ideas for dates is to have a romantic dinner in a library. Sounds really weird, but if you make it romantic and sweet and charming, because Venus in Pisces is all about being romantic, and Sun in Aquarius and solar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius means that artist Cfi says, it better be my W-2. Yes. You know what? It better be a W-2, because that would be a nice surprise. That would be your money coming in, or your W-2 showing up so that you can do your taxes, which I need to do sooner rather than later. I'm so intimidated by doing my taxes, by the way. Like last year, I was working full-time for a company, a nonprofit organization in Philadelphia, and then halfway through, I quit my job, and I was working full-time for BehatiLife. I have no regrets. I'm better off here. I love you guys so much. I don't miss anything about that. Well, I do. I do miss a few things, but it doesn't compare. But doing my taxes, when it comes to that, it's a whole new ball game. Total game changer. That's a side note, but you just said W-2s, and I'm like, let me write that down. Do your taxes. Okay. But yeah, sextile Uranus can really create the element of surprise and unexpected developments. And if you want to work with these cosmos, people are going to be quite impressed if you do surprise them. So allow yourself to be surprised. Even if you know that your partner is going to surprise you, surprise them. And throw a gift in there. Throw something unexpected in there. Something that's different, weird, odd. And watch them kind of delight. Watch them like kind of light up like a Christmas tree. Like, this girl, this man keeps me on my toes. I can't expect. Is that the right word? I can't expect what he's going to do next. I can't predict what he's going to do next. My brain is fried. Following that, by Emma says, do you do your own taxes or do you hire someone? I'm going through the same anxiety. Girl, I normally do my own taxes, but I will be hiring someone else. Luckily for me, my boyfriend's dad is a bankruptcy lawyer, and he has some really awesome connects when it comes to accountants. So I'm going to be hitting up that one recommendation, and I'm just going to do my taxes with him. It's going to be weird. Off topic, what kind of pendant are you wearing? This is a B. I always forget where I got this necklace from. well, I know where I got it from, but I forget the brand. I think they're on Instagram, and I love this necklace a lot. Mama Wolverine, I love your Instagram handle name, by the way, says, I want to read your chart. You seem like my kind of people. Yes, I would actually like to post my chart up so you guys can get a better idea of who I am. But you know what? On the same side of that, I get so, like, private because I know how much I can see in another person's chart. And I'm like, if I put this up there, they're going to see all my weirdness. And I feel like you guys can already see that, but to, like, see it, I feel like I'm like putting my medical records out, but I will do it. I'll put it on my bio on my website, which you can see like about me on my website page, because I did write a little bio on there. I used my tarot cards and told my husband he was going to get a real estate listing. He didn't believe me, but he got one today. I was totally surprised that I got it right. Yes, that's amazing. I can see that. Tali says, what's your sign? I'm Virgo sun, Cancer rising, Libra Venus, Virgo moon, Virgo Mercury. That's all I can remember right now. Namaste 7-Eleven said they should post charts for prospective presidents. Yes, they should. I judge people based upon their charts. And I'm always right. Duh. Weirdness is a side effect of being awesome. Yes. Where can I get my chart? Okay, so ASTRO.com is where I usually pull my charts. That's what I'm using right now in order to pull a chart. You do not get a detailed reading when it comes to that. You don't get any reading when it comes to that. You would need to know how to read your chart by yourself, or you can choose to work with me. The links for that are in my bio, but currently at the moment I'm focusing on tarot education. The Sacred Circle Tarot School has finally opened up for enrollment. Classes and seats are completely filled, and I'm so excited to get started on talking about that. What do you do if your birth time was not recorded? You can work without it. Don't worry about it. And I got to move forward, you guys. I got to move forward because we have to talk about the solar eclipse. So, everyone get focused, but also feel free to ask your questions because you guys know already that I will answer those questions later on. But the solar eclipse, solar eclipse is happening on Thursday, and it's happening in the sign of Aquarius. And I'm not the biggest fan, I'm not hating on anyone's sign, but when it comes to energy, Aquarius is not one of those signs that I'm like, as a Virgo and as so much Cancer, Aquarius can be a little erratic and uncontrollable for me. Thank you guys for the hearts and for the loves. I love it. Kismet says Cafe Astrology does a reading. Yeah, but no offense, it sucks. It's so bad. Cafe Astrology is the worst. Okay, so so solar, trust me, there's nothing like getting a reading done by a professional. I'm not saying that because I'm an astrologer. I'm not saying that. Definitely don't do Cafe Astrology. That's just my opinion. If you love it, do it. But it's just... Okay, so yeah, Aquarius solar eclipse, well, the Aquarius energy in general is a little tough for wee little Cancers and wee little water signs and wee little, Earth signs. Very awesome for air and for fire, but it's not one of my favorites, but I love the element of this solar eclipse because this truly feels like a breath of fresh air. It's like Aries are amazing, says Drak Haras Skara Ronan. Are you an Aries? So yes, we were naturally detached. Okay, so what I see and the visual that I get is this window being lifted up and hoisted up, like aggressively pushed open, and this gust of fresh air coming in. And makes sense because Aquarius is an air sign, and Uranus is all about surprise and unexpected things happening, and it really does shock you, and it really does throw you off guard. But again, no matter what your horoscope sign is, no matter how you normally work, what works well with you or what you've normally gravitate towards, every sign every element, every solar eclipse serves a purpose and a reason. So solar eclipse is a new moon, but it's a new moon intensified. Normally normally new moons, we can feel the effect of it for about 2 to 3 weeks after something happens. That's kind of being a little generous, but for the solar eclipse, you can feel it for 6 months. And this is all about huge change, huge transition that is unavoidable and that we need to be open to experience and watch what comes in. So I always say that on a new moon, it's very quiet. You should be very centered and focus again on what it is that's going to be ahead of you. But again, this element of surprise is so up in the air. And what I see and what I've been seeing is the fact that there is going to be fated encounters for a lot of people. This is because the vertex point, the point in the chart and the point within the cosmos that rules fated encounters, is 100% activated multiple times during and very powerfully for the solar eclipse. And that solar eclipse happens at one point in history, and that's all you need in order to create a shift, a change, and like a snowball effect. So the biggest thing that I see is the fact that Mars, the planet of drive, ambition, and action, sits directly opposite of the vertex point, activating it completely. Now, what you want to do is when you're looking at a chart is you want to make sure that you're looking at personal planets, and you want to see those planets in kind of relatively small orbs and tight degrees, if that makes any, like tight positioning. So you want to make sure that it's under like 5, I like to do like under 5 degrees in order to promise my client a significant change. But really, and that's what it is that we see here when I'm looking at this chart. Not only is it Mars that's activating the vertex point on the solar eclipse, but Neptune is aspecting the vertex point. Now again, Neptune has a bad reputation. Beginner astrologers will look at Neptune and be like, oh my God, Neptune is a planet of illusion and lies and deception, girl. Yes, true, every planet has its positive and negative aspects, but also Neptune rules soulmates. Neptune rules working your dream job. Neptune rules your destiny. Neptune rules spirituality. Neptune rules intuition and your gifts. Neptune rules lies and drugs and alcohol and why can't I freaking remember this word? But when people overdose. Neptune rules overdose when you match it with a planet like Jupiter or Mars square Uranus or something like that. So these are things that, the other thing that I feel like I have to talk about is the fact that Neptune has been moving through the sign of Pisces for a very long time. And Neptune and Pisces, Neptune rules Pisces. Pisces loves Neptune. And when they're together, the element of both of these planets flows back and forth, just water sloshing back and forth. And really what it is that it's trying to do is bring in, for some people, if you work your magic right, it wants to bring in your dream job. It wants to bring in a soulmate, but only when the timing is right and when the seeds are like the situation is ripe for things to grow and to happen. Things grow during the new moon. Things happen during the new moon. Things grow and happen spontaneously and unexpected when you have Aquarius and Uranus coming together with a vertex point activating all these things, and then boom. Lady Flame Sniper says overdose or overindulgence. Overdose is specifically what is it I'm talking about. Overdose on drugs, alcohol, prescription drugs, to an overindulgence if you want to talk about food or sugar or soda. I don't know why I thought of that, but overdose specifically is what it is that I'm talking about. Is that why creatives are known to abuse substances because of Neptune? Abso-freaking-lutely. Ding, 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 she gets it. Yep, nope, that's exactly. Crystals, Andy says, I need you to read my chart. Yes, I would love to. How do you do your intentions? I have a video up on that. How do you word it? The video is up on that on my YouTube. So you can go ahead and check that out. So that's something that I see here for the solar eclipse. I'm a Pisces trying to get a new position at my job. Is this a good time? Absolutely, absolutely. Especially when it comes to any type of longevity and long-term commitments and working hard and busting your ass, but not overdoing it or overexhausting yourself. This is also because Saturn, the planet of commitment and ambition and working hard and applying yourself and then later getting the reward, is currently moving through the sign of Capricorn. This has been happening for a little while now. And yeah, if you are working really hard at getting a promotion or anything like that, this would definitely be the time to kind of bust your balls. But then also realize that if your company or if the place that is that you're working for does not see your value and your worth, move on. Oh my God, tea is so good. Okay, so that's what I see for the solar eclipse. There's something specifically else that I wanted to talk about. Oh, I mentioned it earlier. Crystals, Andy said, when will we be open to taking new clients? Roughly around March, when classes stop or end when it comes to the Sacred Circle. I am giving my full attention to custom oils, custom orders, lunar oils, apothecary items, and the tarot school. Girl, that teacup. I know, right? Isn't it so cute? You guys want to look at it really quickly? It is thebomb.com. I love it so much. You never see dark unicorn iridescent teacups or dark unicorn iridescent anything anywhere. So when I saw that, I wanted to grab that and like 10 more and give them away as gifts. But I didn't, and I regret it because I've never seen a teacup like this ever again. Okay, so what it is that you speak into existence is super important. Remember again, like I was saying in the beginning, that all these planets in Aquarius, in the energy and element of Aquarius, in the sign of Aquarius, I forgot my floor was sparkling. They are encouraging you to paint your own picture and to pave your own way. They want you to be different, to be unique, and to make what is yours, yours, and be open to it being not traditional. The solar eclipse in the sign of Aquarius asks you to deviate from the norm. On the same side, on the flip side of that coin, Saturn is all about, Saturn in Capricorn is all about tradition and being conservative and being having a structure and a routine. Saturn does not say be rigid. It says build that vision, take it seriously, invest in yourself. This works for career. This works for health. This works for relationships. And how that works out is because it helps you to cement commitments. It helps you to bring people into your life that are going to be there. They're going to be rocks and solid and supportive of you. Don't look at the word commitment and responsibility as a negative thing, especially if you're a free spirit and like a free energy. Look at it as someone who understands you completely and rolls with the punches and just completely gets it. Wicked Wife says, I've been eating the hell out of food, would prefer drugs. No comment, girl. Drugs aren't good for you. Okay, that being said, moving forward, when it comes to this eclipse energy, definitely be out and about socializing. Watch again what triggers you. Remember again that your intuition is going to be sharp, especially as we move forward. On the 18th, Mercury finally moves into the sign of Pisces. Sun then moves into the sign of Pisces. And Pisces, again, is that intuitive energy. Mercury in the sign of Pisces is not about logic. It's more about feeling and intuitive hunches. This is, like I said in the video, for those of you guys who've already seen it on the YouTube channel, this is for someone who starts getting those feelings, those vibes. It feels kind of weird, or you just kind of intuitively know. Mercury in the sign of Pisces is intuition on point for all of us, so listen to that. What should an Aries do to the eclipse? This reading is for everybody, no matter what it is that your sun sign is. So apply my message to your life. Apply it. That's a good question, though. It's a very good question. And also, when you're talking about eclipses and when you're talking about current planet transits, you want to look at your rising sign, not just your sun sign. That's because your rising sign shows where the planets are currently at within your chart at this moment. Your sun sign is only a piece, 50% of the bigger picture. The rising sign is going to show you where this eclipse is happening within your chart. So if you were to ask me, look, Jess, what's going to happen for me as an Aries? First of all, I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to that. I'd want to see your chart first and foremost because I like to make accurate predictions. I'm like an arrow. I want to hit the bullseye no matter what it is. So I never really do specific type of predictions like that on live forums unless I'm seeing your live chat or I'm seeing your astro chart. Okay, any tips for beginners on reading charts? I can make a video on that for chart astro. Send that question to me in an email and I'd be more than happy to make a video for you on that so that everybody can benefit from it. The other thing that, so Mercury, again, moving through the sign of Pisces, and I probably have to start narrowing this down because Instagram likes to cut me off after an hour. Mercury moving through the sign of Pisces, again, is all about intuition and following your vibes and speaking from your vibes. It's not about logic. It's all about inner knowingness. It's all about being creative. It's about being intuitive. It's about being idealistic. It's about communicating your ideals, expressing your ideals. One thing that I always say, Beth and Travis +3 says, what exactly is a rising sign? Is it the same as your ascendant? Yes, same thing, different way of calling it the same thing. So, tomato, tomato, potato, potato. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Milk and Honey Baby answer the question. Summer said you should do classes for astrology like your tarot classes. I fully intend to, actually. I would love to do an astrology course. This is my first time allowing mentorship publicly like this. Normally, I teach people privately, just one-on-one. So I would love to, my next session, be focused on astrology because I love it so much. And I know that you guys have questions about it all the time. And it would just be so dope to be able to give that to you guys. Bye, girl. I have to go to class. Thank you for your live post. See you around. Love, light, and peace. Thank you so much. Namaste, poppin'. Sorry for those that I just probably startled because they were like, what? Wicked Wife says, are you wearing a cross? If so, are you a Christian? No, my dear. This is a bumblebee. I know it looks like a cross, and it's a bumblebee. As far as my religion goes, I don't identify with any one religion. I'm very spiritual. I feel like a lot of the religions are all pretty much the same. I've done a lot of studies on religion, and I don't fit into one complete box. There really is no word for what it is that I believe in. So I can't give you a concrete picture of what it is that my belief system is, but if you would like me to explain it one day on my YouTube channel, I would be more than happy to do that. I just believe in one higher power. I believe that it is in all things that are living. I believe in, it's a long story what it is that I believe in. Okay? Wicked Wife says, Coyote! Me either, all inclusive. That's the best way to say it. Yeah. Okay. So yes, Sun moving through the sign of Pisces again. So back to Soulmates, because I know I'm going to get kicked off really soon. I feel like I spent over an hour, close to an hour. Instagram will cut me off once I get closer to an hour. So when it comes to Soulmates, because I know I'm going to get this question, and a lot of people are waiting for this. When it comes to Soulmates, I have done an extensive amount of research, over a years of research, specifically on the topic of soulmates and karma and predicting. Oh, thank you, Cam. That's so sweet. I love your comment. That really means a lot to me. But I've done a lot of research and studies on relationships, soulmates, and when to predict a true love coming in, what makes some relationships last, and what makes some of them die down immediately. And I've noticed and I've learned through my research and through others' research that the energy of Pisces, for a lot of people, when and certain personal planets, but across the board, more people meet their soulmates and are open, and the portal kind of opens for soulmate love to come in when there's an emphasis on the energy of Pisces, either within the chart or within the cosmos during the time. So no matter what it is that your sun sign is, or no matter what your natal chart looks like, when Pisces energy is amplified, most people, if they're following their intuition and their vibe and going with the flow and allowing the universe to kind of move them and redirect them, they are 9 times out of 10 going to find, well, not 9 times out of 10, but if they're in the perfect place at the perfect time, they meet and find their soulmate, and it's a mystery. It's magical. It's unexplainable. And that's something that it is that I see within this chart for this week for a lot of people. Sun finally moving into the sign of Pisces. Mercury, the planet of communication and thoughts and thinking and where our minds are currently at, moving into the sign of Pisces. Sun represents our life energy. Sun represents our focus. Venus ruling relationships. The Aquarius solar eclipse. New beginnings, fresh energy, letting go, letting God, staying open, being open to surprise. Valentine's Day. Just kidding. Valentine's Day has nothing to do with it. But all of these elements, all of them work together in order to create some magic, some serious magic. So if I were you, and if I were me, because I'm me and you are you, I would take that day, take this week, especially the eclipse, to work some magic for yourself, for beautifying the current relationships that are in your life right now, friendships and romantic, and also partnerships, making them magical, making them dope. I would also spend some time focusing on self-healing, because Pisces energy is all about that. The more that you self-heal, the more that you are apt and open to allow a soulmate in. It's not something that you rush, but it is something that you can be honest about. By being unconditionally loving with yourself, you allow other people to come in and unconditionally love you. Wicked Wife says, I'm going through a divorce, but I'm so here for it. Yes, that's okay. That's totally okay, because you can also surround that divorce in loving energy and compassion. And if the relationship is over, let it be over, but also surround it in healing. Is it? Chiara says, is it possible something we thought never happened does? Absolutely. Put a star next to that. Anything is possible, especially with these planets, because again, Pisces and Neptune is all about idealistic. It's all about believing the impossible and watching the impossible come to fruition. It's about that child that says, you know what, I believe in unicorns, and then for real, they see a unicorn. Not that unicorns exist. Some people do believe that they do exist. I've seen YouTube videos talking about unicorns being real. I'm skeptical because I've never seen a unicorn, and I think it's bullcrap, but I love unicorns. But I'm being honest with you. Yeah, anything is possible with Pisces. The things that we feel like can't happen can happen. Milk and Honey said, I literally cried happy tears about someone. A lot of emotional energy. I know. Yeah, Instagram's about to cut me off. I have perfect timing, as always. Will you save this live video to view later? Absolutely. If there's enough space on my phone. I'm going to start ending this live chat, you guys. I just planted a garden with my husband. He's encouraging me with my openness with my green witchery, if you want to label it. That's perfect. That's perfect. You learn so much by gardening. I made a blog about it when I first started BehatiLife. At the time, it was Behati Body. And I should post it again about all the things that I've learned while I was working in a garden as far as magic and life. I had a lot of messages come to me while I was working in the garden. I miss that. All right, you guys. I love you guys so much. I've been working all day, and I'll be working all night because a lot of you have orders that need to go out. I'm going to be packaging them and sending them out, and then also preparing for the eclipse on the 15th, because I will be making a lunar oil for that for myself, and I will be stocking it in my shelves for you guys to benefit from as well. All right? If you haven't already seen the video on this week's forecast, then you can find that on the YouTube channel. Until then, we'll talk later. Bye.